on, like really warm. It was like warmer out there than you'd actually think. It kind of felt like a spring sort of slash an early summer day. And when I came in, I was just sweltering. So welcome back to another stream. These are not the type of streams that I normally like to do, and I only ever do these kind of streams if I have to do them. And I'm just informing you all that I won't be at my gig in Wakefield tonight. So sadly, if there was anybody who was planning on going to catch me there, then sadly you're not going to see me there. And it's a little bit of a gutting one. It's a little bit of an annoying one. So I was at an event last night. I'd gone down to support my good friend DJ Porter, who puts like a monthly thing on Silver Street in Doncaster, and he was doing an event raising money for charity. And I've not been to one of these yet, these monthly nights, and I thought, I'm gonna attend this one and just pop in and show my face for a few hours. And I got a phone call from the promoter of the event while I was at this rave, and obviously you're in a club, couldn't hear it. I didn't even hear it ring. I just realised I'd had a missed call. So obviously I sent him a text and I said, do you know what I mean? You know, what's up? What's the, is everything all right? And then when I'd obviously left the club and rechecked my messages again, he'd said that the club couldn't get the licensing to stay open until 4 a.m. and I was on the last set. So he said that sadly there isn't a set for me. Which is a little bit frustrating when when you print it on a flyer and you post online and you announce that you're going to be somewhere, and because you never know, you followers out there might look at that and think this is where I can catch this guy I've been following online, and they might sort of decide that they're going to come to this, and then me to tell you on the day of the gig that I'm not going to be there is a little bit of a letdown. And to be let down, to be told at the last minute, like literally last night, that the club can't get the licensing, it's a little bit of a annoying one, because from their point of view, they don't know if I'd have made arrangements, like booked hotels and stuff that obviously maybe because it's got so near the time that you wouldn't get your money back for them, because I know when you book some hotels they give you so many days where if you cancel you'll get your money back, but if it goes past a certain date then they won't refund you. So it was a little bit unfortunate. It was a bit last minute that they actually let me know, and it was a little bit my gigs this weekend have just all gone to pot. They've just absolutely all gone to pot, because it's really sort of messed it up for me, because I don't know if any of you guys remember, but I think I mentioned it on streams a while ago. But I actually was doing a booking. I was doing a private birthday party for a family member, and I'd seen her post on Facebook. She was looking for a DJ, and I thought, out the goodness of me, I'm a family member, and it'll save asking around on Facebook, and some DJ that's going to charge over the odds, when I could just take my stuff and do it, that kind of thing. And obviously I spoke with my aunt and about this, and yeah, I'll have you as a DJ, blah blah blah, but I'm still trying to find a venue. So at that point, anything can happen. You might not get a venue, you might not find one in time, or you might find one. Who knows? So anyway, we left it at that. I said, look, I'll put you on my list. Let me know once you've got a venue. So obviously the weeks have gone by, no venue that I knew of. No message to say, look, we've confirmed the venue. Can you be here for this time? Can you play this sort of music? Can you play this song? She likes this song. She likes this group. She likes this band. Blah blah blah. At least some form of idea, so I'd actually know, obviously what I'm doing. So Obviously, me not really hearing anything, I took the Wakefield booking, and I actually also presumed that the kids' party would be like an afternoon thing, but it's actually in an evening thing. So what I eventually found out in the end. So I took this other Wakefield booking, obviously, which has now sadly fallen through. Um, so obviously, like, because I hadn't heard anything, so I thought, and this guy at the time, he was like, we really want you for this, you know, I want to book you for this, you know, like really wanted me at this event, to the point where I thought, you know, I can't let this guy down, either. He was just so buzzed at first to be having me on, so obviously, I hadn't heard anything, so I said, yeah, all right, I'll do this Wakefield thing, you know. And then I get a text yesterday from my aunt, literally saying, be at this venue for this time. And I'm thinking, do you know what I mean? Like, at the last minute of the last minute, you're expecting me at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon the day before to sit there and put a list of tunes together, to get all the equipment. I mean, packing the equipment up was not obviously the issue, but the issue for me as well is that I don't drive. So when it comes to like doing gigs like that, and it comes to like doing them in Driffield, I always ring my grandparents and I always arrange a lift. So like, you know, they'll either come and pick me up with the equipment the day before, or I'll have the equipment ready and they'll come and pick me up in the morning somehow. You know, sometime, you know, we always arrange something. And obviously I hadn't arranged anything, and you know, I can't just ring them up like last minute, oh, I need a lift in the morning. It's, you know, although they'd probably do it, it's just, you know, it's a little bit, you know, it's last minute in it for them, and you know, they might have had things planned, or they might, you know, might not always be feeling too well. They're elderly people. So I was a little bit annoyed, obviously, that it was last minute. So I said, look, well, look, you know, I never heard anything, you know, regarding this venue. You know, you never said you'd got the venue, you know, and like I said, never received a list of anything you wanted me to play. There was no times for the party. So I just kind of felt like, you know, was this even happening? And I know, sort of, from my point of view, you know, as a guy who's sort of accepted work, I should have probably texted and said, you know, any updates? Have we got a venue? And asked for some like additional information as such, or like any updates. But you know, I just thought, oh, you know, get in touch, get in touch. You know, family member, she'll obviously message. She at the time seemed keen for me to do it. You know, when I said I'll do it, like, oh, be made, you know, your cousin will be made up that it's you doing it. And obviously, like I say, I just, you know, there was just, in a lot of sense, I guess there was a lack of communication. But you would think like, you know, if you was running a party, and you was you know, you was told like the DJ was trying to get a venue, and then you do get a venue, like you would think like it would be on your part of agenda to message that DJ and say, look, you know, confirmation, we've got the venue, we're good to go, you know, we're good to have you, you know, because at the end of the day, like, you know, even if I hadn't have taken that other gig, or if it was another DJ, they could have been sat there. Do you know what I mean? Like wondering what the hell was going on. Like when they could have taken over work. Do you know what I mean? And some DJs might not have taken over work because they feel like, do you know what I mean? Like I don't, you know, like I don't want to let this client down. You know, and then it could turn to nothing, and then they could sit there and think, well, you know, I had chance of taking over work here. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously, you know, they've not. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they've lost out on that work. So obviously, I said to my aunt, I said, look, well, I've taken this other booking now, and she actually found someone else looking, luckily. And anyway, cutting the story short, this gig fell through, so I could have done the party in the end. Um, you know, but everything just went tits up. But then it's that old saying, in it, like everything happens for a reason. So I'm definitely not wasting my Saturday, trust me. And I'm on the second day of free raves this weekend. Can you believe it? Free raves this weekend. It's absolutely crazy. So Saturday and Sunday, they was always planned. There was always, I was always going to be raving this Saturday and Sunday. That was obviously, the thing. But then when I obviously had saw that Porter was putting his little charity thing on, and he's obviously booked me for Freshly Squeezed in July when they bring it to Hull, which I can't wait for, by the way. I just thought, you know what, like, he's putting a good thing on there, and he's bringing like a little night to Silver Street. That actually turned out to be quite a big night, believe it or not. And I just like the vibe of what he's doing, and I like sort of the way it's going. So he used to run a bounce night on Silver Street at another venue called the Shack. It was a lot smaller venue, but he had it bouncing, and it was mainly just him spinning. It was mainly just him. I think maybe like once or twice he had a couple of guests on, maybe, but it was mainly just him. Like a resident DJ in there, but he was bringing like the bounce and the clubland anthems and the donking into there, and it was banging. And then there was some sort of like summit with the venue or something, and then he didn't end up having it there anymore. So he brought it back, but he brought it a bit further up the road to a place called Tropical Bar, and he's like put more like lineups together as opposed to just him spinning, and mainly like local talent, but it's like a really good thing. And it's sort of like Silver Street in Doncaster. It's like right in the centre, so there's loads of like pubs and bars and clubs on there. So the street in itself, like on a Friday night, Saturday nights, they're busy. There's people always like going out on the town and stuff. So you're getting them people that curiously sort of think it sounds banging in here. I'm going to have a walk in and have a listen. And then you've got people that think, there's a banging bit of like a bounce and clubland going off on Silver Street. It's free entry. Let's pop in. So obviously I thought, yeah, I've got to come and show my support to this because it's banging. It looks like a banging night, and it was. It didn't fail to disappoint. And then obviously today I was supposed to be gigging, but doing these gigs came with the difficult decision of sadly missing out on the massive rave in Skegness tonight, which is Havoc. And you might remember Havoc because I went there last year and I did like a review about it on YouTube the day after, and there was like 5 floors, and there's like Baby D performing live. There's like Karen Parry. There's even Technotronic from Pump Up the Jam are actually going to be there live as well. There's like Dave Pierce. Then there's like a hardcore room, and you've got the likes of Rob IYF. You've got Chris Unknown. There's even Ian Van Dal doing a one-off like special hardcore set back to back with Rob IYF. There's like people like Rachel Vega, there's like Rescue, there's Garner, there's a massive like hardcore lineup going off, and then there's a drum and bass arena, and there's a techno arena, and then there's like a house music arena as well. So there's 5 floors like there was last year, and last year the 90s arena, which is where you've got the likes of like Baby D and Dave Pierce. It was going off in there last year. It was my favourite arena of the whole event. The look of the arena was just amazing. The tunes were just going off all day, and I was gutted to be missing it. I honestly really was. But obviously, like, gigs are gigs, and I'm all about pushing myself forward as an artist, and I'd never turn down a gig just to rave. But obviously they've been cancelled now. So and Lee was my good friend Lehman. He's booked at this event to do the pictures. So obviously my event obviously was cancelled. He's like, well, you might as well come with me then. And I was thinking, you know what, I'm gonna do that, like, because I did originally really want to go because of how good the year before was, and it was a new thing last year. So obviously, like this year, they've obviously taken feedback from what feedback they got last year, and obviously trying to improve it to make it better for this year. So I've just got a feeling that it's obviously going to be like even better than last year. And again, there's like a stacked lineup. Like there's Karen Parry, Baby D, and the amazing Rebecca Rudd singing live. And if you're scratching your head like who's Rebecca Rudd, She sang tracks for Ultra Beat, so she actually sang the classic "I Want to Touch You." She did a cover with Mac Project of "Do You Want It Right Now," which is originally, I can't remember who originally did it, but it was like a classic tune, and then it got mashed up with "Get the Core Passion." Do you want it right now? And there's been a good few bounce versions of it over the years, but she did I think like the original sort of like remixed version that got released on all around the world records. And if I'm right in remembering, I think I do have it on vinyl as well. And Mac Project featuring Rebecca Rudd. Do you want it right now? But she sang a whole list of tracks, including Broken Wings, loads of stuff that she's obviously known for. And I've never seen this person sing live before. I've obviously seen the likes of Karen Parry singing a couple of times. I've even warmed up for her at Bounce to Your Drop. So obviously, in that sense, I've seen that artist, and that's nevertheless like to say that she's no good, because obviously she's absolutely amazing. But it would just be nice to see the likes of Rebecca Rudd. And then of course there's Baby D as well, who I've seen last year as well at Havoc. She was at last year's Havoc, and she was amazing as well. Sang absolutely all of her classics like Need Your Loving, Let Me Be Your Fantasy, all them absolute classics that obviously have just took the rave scene by storm over the years. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be absolutely belting. It's going to be heaving in there. And then tomorrow, if you think tomorrow's the normal average, like, yeah, chill out, you've done two raves, Sunday kind of malarkey. Sunday, we're back in Doncaster for Future Beats. It's a bank holiday weekend. And Future Beats are putting on their next instalment of Future Beats. And I think it's the only one this year that they're doing, because I think Si's taking a break from running them, just having a little bit of time out. I think he was supposed to be retiring, well, not retiring, but having a break from MCing as well. And then loads of people like wanted to book him, and he was like, "All right, actually, I guess I'm not going to retire." But yeah, he's taking a break from running Future Beats, but he's got a jam-packed lineup again of bounce music, like hard trance music and hardcore music. And again, this was an event that I originally wasn't planning to go to. It was only because two people that I've not seen for ages actually asked me if I was going to. Two people that I've only ever met once. But we had a laugh at the Harder Southwest Festival, and we become good friends online, and we met at the festival. We was both playing at the Harder Southwest Fest, and I've been aiming for I don't even know how long to go up to their end and visit their end and have a mix with them. It's been something I've been saying that I'm gonna do for like nearly 2 years now, and it's just they live so far away, like they live like really far down south, that I looked it up on a coach, and it was gonna take like 9 hours on the coach, which obviously the coach was the cheapest way. The train was it was like a oh we dropped the phone. The train was something like a ridiculous price, like going on £300 or something like that, and I'm thinking 300 squid, and you had to change onto like 4 different trains, and I can't remember exactly where it is where they live, but it was like down south, like past Dorset, I think. Believe it or not, it was like well on your way to Plymouth, I think. In like proper really far. But anyway, they're good friends with a DJ, like quite a biggish DJ, who was being booked for this event, and they essentially go and travel with him sometimes to events. So they're coming up to this one, they're making the drive up, and they obviously said, look, are you coming to it? Are you going to be there? Because last time they was there, at the venue itself, I wasn't there. I was somewhere else, or for whatever reason, I missed it, and obviously it was just one of those. So this time they was like, are we going to see you there? And I was kind of like, well, I've got to come now, haven't I? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got to do it now. Like, I can't not come now when you've obviously said, and I might again, like, if I don't see him tomorrow, I probably won't see him again for months on end, if not a year. Even be a couple of years and a half or half a year before I even see him again, which is a crazy thing. So I didn't want that to happen. So yeah, so sort of just having one little gig at the weekend, sort of turned into sort of now doing free raves. But can I handle it? And I suppose a lot of people's that will go through people's minds is like, how do you do it? Because obviously I don't drink, I don't take drugs, and then there's free sort of like invites to get on it. Do you know what I mean? Like free invites this weekend to have a good few drinks and knock them back, and people probably thinking like, how can you go to free banging events and not touch a drop of alcohol, or not have a little bit of powder up your nose or something, and and I don't. I honestly don't, and you know what? I feel better for it. Like, I haven't woke up this morning hanging, thinking I've got to do it all again. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow hanging, thinking I've got to do it all again. And I'm not going to be out of my face at the events. I'm not going to be annoying everybody. I'm not going to be stumbling all over and knocking people's drinks over. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to be normal, sober me, capturing the moments of everybody's set, and everybody who's obviously playing and having a good time. And then when I wake up the next morning, I'm going to remember the whole night from the start to the finish, and it's making memories. It's all about having a physical passion for the rave scene, and not just a passion for getting on it. Like, a lot of people like say they love the rave scene and they love the music, but it's getting on it that they actually love, and they just use the sort of like the rave scene and the music as an excuse to get on it, as an excuse to have a few bevies and knock the beers back and sniff a gram of powder up the nose, which to me, I just nothing against, if people want to do it, obviously people want to do it, and I ain't gonna sit there and like, not hold my hands up, because I'm not totally innocent. Plenty of times I've been absolutely wasted, where I've knocked back beer after beer and got on shots after shots, and been put in a taxi because I'm too drunk, and being in situations where the next morning I don't remember it, and people are like, don't you remember diving through that window? Which when we was at the Ada Southwest Fest, I climbed through a barn window, and fell onto a sofa, because I was absolutely wrecked, and had a wrestling match, with a friend, and fell onto an inflatable chair and popped it. So I ain't gonna sit there and say, look, I ain't had my fair share moments of like having a few drinks, but me now personally just don't see the point. It's just nothing against people that want to do it, and obviously people would have to do it, or like the clubs and the pubs, there'd be no trade. But like, just me personally, I just don't like doing it anymore. I just think it's all about how I can push my career going forward. And if I'm at these events and I'm acting a clown and I'm falling over and I'm shouting my mouth off, and I'm having issues, and I'm having beef with somebody, um, then obviously, like, from a promoter's point of view, who, knows I'm an up and coming DJ and looks at me, they'll look at me and think, like, we aren't going to want that person at our event, because he just gets too wrecked, and, he's not going to play a set if he gets like that. Whereas, they look at me, I'm all sober, I'm witnessing the sets, I'm just, being respectful to the promoters, and, the venue owners, and, the people putting all of this stuff on, and, when drunk people are getting a little bit like rowdy and they fall into a barrier, and I'm like just helping picking the barrier back up, and if people are trying to get on the stage and they're not allowed, and I'm trying to tell them, look, you can't come on. It just gives a better, in my opinion, it just gives a little bit of a better feel. And it makes me look a bit better as well. Rather than, because they'll think, yeah, this guy's respectful, he doesn't drink, he just enjoys the night, he supports and respects the brand. Why would we not want to put this, obviously not want to put this guy on? So, yeah, so 3 raves, 1 weekend. We are on to day 2. So maybe I'll report tomorrow and do like day 3 if I do the aftermath of Havoc. I don't feel too bad today because last night it wasn't a real late night. We actually left about half 12. I think we left, got a little bit of food, and then we more or less sort of come home. Like we sat. So I think I got home about 3, 3:15. So I don't feel like mega bad. I do feel like slightly tired, but I'm also like buzzed and excited for like what's gonna happen today. So I've kind of been like awake, and I've had like music on my mind, like just want to get music in there really. But yeah, other than that, like I say, just absolutely belting vibes. So yeah, I'll probably, like I say, I'll do the Havoc aftermath tomorrow, and then I'll probably do like a sort of like update report of like day 3. Like what's happening. On that score. How am I coping? Sort of on day 3 of this like 3 raves 1 weekend kind of thing, and take it from there. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. I'm gonna do a few things on my computer. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, share. Sorry for the inconvenience if anybody was hoping to catch me in Wakefield. I do apologise that I won't sadly be there now. But what he did say is that he's got some other dates for me that he wants to have me down. So we'll rearrange something. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you next time.